Hey guys, welcome back. In the previous video we completed this GUI part and now let's work on the functionality. So what we are going to do, we are going to bind these four buttons to a function. So whenever you will click mouse left button, a function should be called. And what will be the functionality in that function? Whenever you will click the correct answer, this question should be changed to a new question and these options should change to new options. And if you click on any other wrong option, a game lost window should appear. So let's see. So just after this option button 4, I'm going to bind these four buttons to a function. So option button 1 dot bind method. Inside this bind method I have to mention mouse left button, because whenever you will be clicking on the mouse left button, this particular function which is select, this function will be called. So right now you see this red line because this function is not defined yet. So whenever you will press your mouse left button, and mouse left button is represented as button dash 1 like this. So this represents mouse left button. So whenever you will click on option button 1, this particular function, select function, will be called, and whatever code you will write inside that function, that code will be executed. In the same way, we will bind other three buttons. So I'll simply copy this same line with the help of Ctrl D, and here this option button 1 will be changed to 2, this one will be 3, and the last one will be 4. Now let's define the select function. So I'm going to define it at the top here, just after this import line, def select, and let me just print hello, so that whenever I'll be clicking on any of the button, this hello text will be printed here on the console. Let's see if it is printed or not. If I click on this button, let's see what we are getting. Here you can see we are getting this type error. Select takes 0 positional arguments but 1 was given. What it means that whenever we are pressing our mouse left button, that button is passing a value to the select function. So we need to receive that value in some variable, in some argument, which is event here. This simply stores the position where mouse button is clicked. If I print this event instead of this hello, so that you will be able to understand, let's see. If I click on this and if I click on this, let's see what we are getting. When I clicked on the first button, I got this, and this was the position. When I clicked on button number 2, I got this position. So this event variable simply storing this position. Now with the help of this event argument, we can find which button is getting pressed. So let me create a variable which will store which button is getting pressed, and here I have to write event dot widget. This will return us which button is getting pressed, and that button will be stored inside this b variable, and let's print it, this b. If I run now, if I click on this button and then this button, so I clicked on the button number 1 and the button number 4. So let's see what we are getting here. You can see here this is our button 1 and then this is our button 4, but we are interested in the text which is written on that button, so that we can compare that to correct answer. If it will be correct, then we will change the options and the question, otherwise we will show a new window, game lost. So to get the text of the button, we'll write b, and in square brackets we'll simply mention the text as a key, and we'll get the value inside some variable. I'll give the variable name as value, like this. Now if I print this variable value, let's run. If I click on this button B and then this D, you can see what it is printing. So when I clicked on button number 2, I'm getting the text of that button USA inside this value variable. And similarly, when I clicked on button 4, I'm getting this Russia text inside this value variable. I hope you are able to understand. Now I will simply compare this text with the correct option. Before that, let's create a list where I will store all the correct options inside that. So just outside this function, I'll paste this list. I have copied this from the original source code, so you guys can do the same. So for the first question, the correct answer is this Russia. So I will simply compare this value variable with the first index element of this list. If these two will be same, then I will change the question and the options. The new question will be this one, and the new options will be first index options from these four lists. So here I'm going to write if value variable equals to correct answers of index 0. If this is the thing, this correct answer of index 0 represents this Russia, and if value is also Russia, if these two will be equal, then the condition will become true, means the user has clicked on the Russia option. If that is the thing, then I will simply change the question from the text area. So firstly we have to delete the previous question, so I'll use question area object variable dot delete method to delete the previous question, and I want to delete from 1.0 till end. 1.0 is the starting index, till end I want to delete everything. So firstly the question will be deleted, and after that I will insert a new question. So again I'll use object variable dot insert method, and inside this at the end I will insert a new question, and the question will be from this list, questions of index 1 this time. So this is index 1, right? So here I'm going to write questions of index 1 like this, and after that I also want to insert new options. So for options I will simply change the text which is on the buttons. So I'll write option button 1 dot config for updating the text, and here the text will be option 1 first option index 1, and in the same way I'll change the text of other three buttons. So I'll simply copy this line like this, and here this one will be option button 2, then option button 3, and this one will be option button 4, and here instead of first option this one will be second option index 1, and then this one will be third option index 1, and similarly this one will be fourth option index 1. This is extra, so I'm going to remove it. Let's see. If I click on this correct option, firstly the previous question got deleted and the new question got inserted, and the text on these buttons is changed. In the same way, the correct answer for this question is this B option 366. So I will check if the user has clicked on this button. If it is so, then I will again change the question and the options here. So what I'm going to do here, since this thing will be repeated for 15 questions, I'm going to use a loop here. So here I'm going to apply a loop for I in range, and here inside this range I'll pass 15. So this range will have values from 0 till 40. This last value 15 is excluded here. So inside this I variable we will have values from 0 till 40, and let's provide some indentation. So I'll select this complete thing and press tab button, and instead of this 0 I'll pass I variable here. So when the loop will run for the first time, this I variable will hold 0 value. So correct answer of 0 represent this Russia only, right? After that I want to insert a question here. If I pass I variable, so I will represent 0 here. So question of 0 will be nothing but the same question which is at index 0, which is the largest country in the world. So this is already there on the text area. So what I will do here, instead of I will mention I plus 1. So I plus 1 will represent this question number 2 here, this one. So this one will be inserted onto my text area here. And in the same way, here also, if I mention I, then I will represent 0 value. So 0 option is already there on my buttons. So I want to insert first option, this one. So here also I will pass I plus 1. Instead of I'll pass I plus 1, like this. Let's see. So if I click on this correct option Russia, the question is changed to this one. Now if I click on this correct option 366, the question is changed to this one. Here the correct answer for this question is this heron. If I click on it, the question is getting changed. So I hope you understood this logic. So when the loop will run for the first time, this value variable will be compared to correct answers I. I is Russia here. So if you'll click on Russia, this condition will become true. Once this condition is true, this complete code will be executed. So here what will happen? Firstly, the old question will be deleted. Then the new question, which is at index I plus 1, which is at index 1, will be inserted inside this question area. And the same way the options will be inserted. And when the loop will run for the second time, this I variable will hold one value. So correct answers 1 will represent this 366. So whenever a user will click 366, this condition will become true. And once this condition is true, again the same code will be executed. This time the previous question will be deleted first of all, and then the new question, which is I plus 1, which is 2. So here if you see, this was at index 0, this was at index 1, this was at index 2. So this question will be inserted on my text area, and then similarly the corresponding options will be inserted. So this for loop will be executed 15 times, and one by one all these questions will be inserted on my text area, and similarly all these options will be inserted onto my buttons. One more thing, if I rerun this code and if I click on this correct option Russia, the question is changing and the options are changing here. But what about this amount image? I want to increase the amount. As you have seen in the original project, the amount gets increased whenever you give a correct answer. So here I have all these images. So whenever a user will give a correct answer for the first question, I want to display this image. And when the user gives correct answer for the second question, I want to display this image, and so on up till 15, like this. So let's see what logic we are going to apply here. I'm simply going to remove all these images from here. So firstly we need to add all these images in our code. Just like we added this picture 0, we have to add all these images from 1 till 15. So where I have added this picture 0, I will add at that same position. So here I have added this picture 0.png. In the same way I have to add all these images in our code. So basically we are going to import it with the help of this photo image class. So I'm simply going to copy the same line. So I'll press Ctrl D to copy the same line, and then I will change the object variable names. So this one object variable name, I'm giving it amount image 1, and here instead of picture 0, this one will be picture 1.png. In the same way this one will be amount image 2, and here it will be picture 2. So let me just complete it quickly. Here you can see I have created objects of all these 15 images. So this variable represents this image, similarly this one represents this image. So I'm going to create a list of all these object variables. So here I have created a list amount images, and inside this list I have added all these object variables from amount image 1 till amount image 15. And now inside that for loop I will simply update this amount label with these images that are inside this list. So coming back to this function, And here when the loop will run for the first time, I want to display this picture one.png. So here I'm going to write amount label dot config method, and here I will simply update the image. So image this time will be amount image 1. So this amount image 1 represents this picture one.png, this one. So when the loop will run for the first time, I want to display this image, amount image 1. And when the loop will run the next time, I want to display this amount image 2. So instead of passing elements one by one to this image keyword argument, I'll pass a list amount images, and in square brackets I'll pass this I variable. So when the loop will run for the first time, this I variable will hold 0, and amount images is a list, and at index 0 we have this picture one.png. So this image will be added on the amount label. And similarly, when the loop will run the next time, the second image, this picture 2.png, will be added on the amount label, and so on. Let's run and see. If I click on this Russia, you can see the first image is added here. When I click on 366, you can see the second image is added, and this way it will continue up till 15. So I hope you understood this logic. Now what if I click on the wrong option? Suppose if I click 30 here, nothing is happening. Okay, so what I want, when I click on any of the wrong options, I should be getting a window with game lost text there. So let's see. So if this condition will be false, then we will move to the else part. We will only go in the else part whenever you will click a wrong option. So in that case, what I want to create a new window. So that new window name I'm going to give root1, and the new window on top of another window is known as top level and is created with the help of top level class. So this is our new window, and here also we have to do the same thing. I have to keep my new window on a loop. So I'll use root1 object variable dot main loop method, and everything has to be between these two lines only. So if I run now, if I click on this wrong option India, you can see we are getting a new window. Now when I close this window and close this program, you can see we are getting multiple windows here. Why is that? Because this for loop is getting executed 15 times. So in the else part also we will be getting a window 15 times. So what we want, when we go in the else part, I want to display my new window only one time. So here, just after this loop, I'm going to break the loop so that the loop is not executed the next time. Let's see. If you click on the wrong option, you can see the window appeared, and if you close this window and if you close this window again, now you are not able to see multiple windows here. Now first of all, let's set the background color of this top level window to black. So I'll write root1 object variable dot config method, and here I'll change the background color to black like this. If I run, if I click on a wrong option, you can see a black window here. After that, let's provide some width and the height to it, and then some title. So let's see. So just after this, I'll use root1 dot geometry method for providing some width and the height, and here I'm going to use width as 500, cross 400 as height, and then from the x-axis I'll place this window at 140 distance, and from y-axis at a distance of 30. After that, I will provide title to it. So I'll write root1 dot title method, and inside this, in the form of a string, I have to mention the title. So here I'll mention the title as u10 pounds. Let's run. If If I click on this wrong option, you can see this is how our window looks like here. Now let's attach a center logo here. This is the same logo, so I'm going to simply create a label here, img label, and I'll be using a label class, and this label will be inside my root 1 window, and the image on this label will be that center image that we already added before, if you remember. This is that image. This is the center image, center.png. Okay, and after that I'll provide border as 0, so there will be no border, and then I will simply pack this. So this time I'm going to use pack instead of place and grid. So this pack also works similarly. It also helps us to place this label on our window. This is the easiest one, since on this root 1 window nothing is packed before, so this image label will be packed at the top. So let's run and see. If I click on this wrong option, you can see we are getting this logo here. Now let's provide some padding so that this logo can be a little bit in the center. So here inside this pack method, I'll provide pad y vertical padding of 30. Let's see. Yeah, this is fine. Here in this original project, if you see, if I click on this wrong option, you can see that we are getting this you lose label here, and then after that this try again button, and then this close button, and also I have added these two emojis, sad emojis, on the left and the right hand side. So let's add all these things. And to this window, if you see, I don't have any title bar. I can close this window only by clicking on this close button. And if you try to close this main window first, you will not be able to close it. Firstly, you will have to close this window, and then only this window will be closed. So with the help of this close button, you can close this window and this main window at the same time. So if I click on this close button, you can see both the windows are closed. So let's see all this functionality in our code. So here let's add all that thing. So here I'm going to create a loss label, and I'll be using a label class. This label will be inside my root 1 window. The text on this label will be you lose, and after that I'll provide some font to this text. The style will be Arial. After that size will be 40, and it will be bold. And now let's pack it. So loose label dot pack. So when you use pack, this loose label will come just after this image label. Let's run. If I click on this wrong option, you can see we are getting this you lose label. Now let's change the text color to white and the background color to black. So here I'll change BG for background to black, and the text color FG will be white. Let's run. After that, let's build a try again button and a close button. Just after this loss label, I'll create try again button, and I'll be using a button class to create this button. This button will be inside my root 1 window. The text on the button will be try again. After that, I'll provide some font to this text. So I'll use font keyword argument. The styling will be Arial. You can use any other styling of your choice. The size will be 20, and it will be bold. After providing font, again I want to set the background color of the label to black, and the text color of the label will be set to white. And now let's pack it. So try again button dot pack method. Again, this pack method will simply add this try again button just after this loss label. Let's see. If I click on this wrong option, you can see we are getting a button here. Now I want to remove the border from it. and when I click on this button, you can see this active background color which is of white color and the active foreground color which is black right now, if you see. And also when I bring my mouse pointer on this button, it is not changing to hand symbol. Let's see how to do these things. I will change active background to black, equals to black, and the text color which is active foreground will be white, and also the border will be set to 0 because I don't want any border, and then the cursor will be hand 2. So whenever you will bring your cursor on that button, it will change to hand symbol. Let's see. Wrong option. You can see this is how it looks. In the same way, I have to create a close button. So I will copy the same code and only will change the object variable name because it has to be the same button. So here I'll paste it, and this one will be close button. So I'll change the object variable name close button. Everything else will remain same here. The text will only change here. This one will be close. Let's run. Wrong option. This is how it looks. Since I have not added any functionality, right now nothing is happening when I am clicking on these two buttons. Now let's add two emojis, sad emojis, one on the left hand side and one on the right hand side. Since we want to add it at this position, at some particular position, so I will be using a place method to place that label over here. Okay, so let's see. So this is that sad.png image that I have to use. This is 64 cross 64 image. You will get this image from the source code. So firstly I have to import this image. So I'll be using a photo image class, and the file name is sad.png in the form of a string sad.png, and I will simply create object of this image which is sad image like this. And now let's create a label and add this image on a label. So I'll name that label sad label, and I'll be using a label class. This label will be again in my root 1 window, and the image will be this sad image like this. And now let's place this because I want to add this at some particular position. So I'll use sad label dot place method. From x-axis this will be at a distance of 30, and from y-axis this will be at a distance of 280. So this is our left label on which I have added this sad png. In the same way I have to add this on the right label as well. So I'll copy the same label from here and I'll paste it here, and then I'll change this object variable to sad label 1. Everything else here will be same because I want to add this same sad image there also. Only the x value will change. So this one will be 300. Y value will remain same to 280 because it has to be at the same height as this sad label. Let's see if I give a wrong answer. Let's increase the x value of this right image, and let's provide a background color black to this label. So this one will be 400, and after that I will change the background color of these two labels to black. So bg equals to black. Let's see. Wrong option. This is how it looks. Now first of all let's work on the functionality of this close button. So when I click on this close button, I want to close this window. So inside this close button I will pass a command. So whenever I will be clicking on this close button, this particular command will be called close. Now let's define this close function. So I'll be defining it here at the top, def close, and inside this close function I'll write root1 dot destroy. So this is my window root 1, and I will simply destroy this whenever you will click on the close button. Let's see. Wrong option. This new window appeared here, root 1 window. If I click on this close button, you can see the window is closed, it is destroyed. But here is one issue. If I tell you, even if I click on this correct option Russia, still I am getting this window. I should not get this window, right? So there is one issue here. So instead of using this else keyword here, I am going to use here if value not in correct answers, like this. So instead of else, just change it to if value not in correct answers. So if value will be in correct answers, okay, then this particular code will be executed. And if value will not be in correct answers, means you are selecting some other option, then this particular code will be executed. Okay, and once this code will be executed, then at last we will simply break out of this loop and we will get this window only once. I hope you are getting this. Now let's see. If I click on this correct option, you can see now we are not getting that window. Now if I click on this wrong option, now we are getting this window. If I click on this close button, the window is getting closed. So I hope you understood this, right? If I click on this correct option, we are not getting anything. So this is fine now. After that, suppose you are in between and now you all of a sudden give a wrong answer. Suppose if I select JavaScript here instead of this Python, and I'm getting this you lose window. Since I lost the game, and if I click on this close button, it means I want to close this window. So if I click on this close button, but still after clicking on the close button, still I can continue this game. So this is not nice, this is cheating, right? So what I will do here, whenever I click on the close button, that particular window and this main window both should be closed, so that you cannot continue playing when you lost the game, right? So when you click on this close button, this particular close function is getting called. So inside this close function, I will add one more line, root.destroy. So this root is the main window, so it will also be closed whenever you will click on the close button. Let's see. If I give a wrong answer, if I click on this close button, both the windows are closed. So now if you are in between and you give a wrong answer and you click on this close button, so once you lost the game, you can only close the game completely or you can try again. So if you click on this close, it means you don't want to play and the complete window will be closed like this. And now let's see the functionality of this try again. So whenever I click on this try again, I will simply reset everything. So if you are in between, like here, suppose if you are on question number 3 like this, and now if you give a wrong answer, if I click on this try again, everything here will be reset. So this image will be set to picture 0, and here the question will be set to question number 1, and the corresponding options will also change. So let's work on this functionality. So here inside this try again button, I'm going to provide a command equals to try again. So this is a function name that I'm passing here. So whenever you will click on this try again button, this particular function, try again function, will be called. And now let's define this function. So I'll be defining it just after this def close here. So def try again like this. And what I want, firstly, when I click on this try again, first question should be inserted onto my text area. For that I will write question area dot insert method, and here I will insert the zeroth index element of this questions list. So this is a questions list, and I will simply insert the zeroth index element. So this is the element at zeroth index. This is string, so this string will be inserted again onto my text area. And in the same way, I will insert the options on my buttons. So I'll write option button 1 dot config, and here the text will be first option 0th index. In the same way, I'll simply copy the same line, and this one will be option button 2, then 3, and this one will be 4. And here, instead of first option, this one will be changed to second option. After that, this one will be third option, and then this one will be fourth option, 0th element. And also we need to reset the amount image, so I'll write here amount label dot config method, and here the image will be reset to amount image. So this amount image is this one. Okay, here I made a mistake. Inside this question area dot insert method, I have to mention one more argument, that where you want to insert. So at the end I want to insert this question. Okay, now let's see. If I click on this correct option, then again to the correct option, again correct. And now if I click on this wrong option and I click on this try again, you can see this is reset. Here the question is reset. I also want, when I click on this try again button, this window should be closed, this particular window, right? So here inside this try again function, I'll write root1 dot destroy like this. Let's see. Now if I click on this wrong option, click on this try again, you can see the window got destroyed and everything here is reset now. But here is one issue. You can see the earlier question is not deleted and the new question is getting inserted here, which is the largest country, right? And the previous question is not getting deleted. So what I will do, before inserting the question, I will firstly delete it. Delete the previous question which is already written there. So if there is anything written there onto my text area, I will delete that from 1.0 till end, and after that I will insert the question which is at index 0, right? Like this. If I give a wrong answer, click on this try again. Now it's fine, right? Now I will show you what will happen when I will give a correct answer of the last question. So let me just play it quickly. Which is the largest country in the world? It's Russia. How many days are there in a leap year? It's 366. Which one of these four birds has the longest beak and the feet? It's heron. Which is the national currency of USA? It's dollar. Guido van Rossum in 1991 designed which language? It's Python. Then find the sequence 9, 18, 27. It will be 36. Which one is the first fully supported 64-bit operating system? It is Linux. Which animal is called the king of the jungle? It's lion. Which time corresponds to 23:23 hours? It's 7:23 p.m. Which team has won most number of IPL matches? It's MI for Mumbai Indians. Which is the largest planet in our solar system? It's Jupiter. How many continents are there in the world? 7. How many years are there in millennium? It's 1000 years. iPad is manufactured by Apple. Then who founded Microsoft? It's Bill Gates. So when I clicked on this last question, you can see we are getting an error here, that list index out of range. It means we are done with the questions. All the questions of that list are over and we don't have any question left. So that is why we are not getting anything inside that text area. Okay, so what I want, when I reach the last question, I want to display a new window where it will be written U1. So it will be the same window like we just created. It will also have close button and play again button instead of try again button, but the functionality will be similar. Okay, So I have copied this top level window code and I will do the changes there. So after copying it, now here inside this loop, after this condition, I will apply another condition if value equals to correct answers of index 14. So this index 14 will represent the last answer. If you have given the last answer correctly, in that case, I will simply display that particular window that we just created. So here I'm going to paste the code of new top level window, Control V. So when you will answer the last question, this condition will become true and this particular code will be executed, the code that we just pasted. And inside this code, again a new window will be created. And let's change the name of this window. So from root 1, I'll change it to root 2. So wherever root 1 is written here, just change it to root 2 like this. And wherever, so here also I'll change it to root 2 like this. After that, instead of this loss label, I'll change it to win label, and here the text will be U1 like this. Everything else will be same. Instead of this try again button, this time this button will be changed to play again like this, and here the text will also change to play again. Everything else will remain same. The function name here, if you want, you can change it to play again like this, and then this close button will remain same, and the functionality of this close button will also be same. And then instead of this sad image, I'll change this image name from sad to happy image, and I have this happy.png, so I'll simply change it from sad.png to happy.png like this. And here the sad image will be changed to happy image like this. So let me just show you how this happy image looks like. So here I have this happy image, so this is the image that I'll be adding there. Everything else will remain same. Now let's change this play again function name here. So instead of try again, I'll change this function name to play again. All this code will remain same. So whenever you will press the close button, firstly your second window will be closed, that is root 2 window, and then your main window will be closed. Inside this play again, firstly your top level window will be closed, the question will be deleted, then the first question will be inserted, and the corresponding first options will be inserted, and also the amount label image will be changed. Now let's check. Right click and run. If I play this game again till this last question, here you can see I have reached the last question. Now if I click on this Bill Gates, which is the correct option here, you can see we are getting a new window U1 with the happy emojis here and two buttons, play again and close. If you click on this close, both these windows will be closed, and if you click on this play again, everything here will be reset. And in the original project I have not added this title bar, so let's remove it from both the top level windows. So we have a method to remove the title bar from this top level window. So I'll use root2 object variable dot override redirect, and here I'll pass true value. In the same way I'll change for another window. So here also I'll write root1 dot override redirect, and here also I'll pass true value. So now you will not see that title bar there. If I run this and if I click on this wrong option, you can see we don't have a title bar now. Okay, you can close this window with the help of this close button here, right? So I hope you have understood till here. In the next video we will see the functionality of these three buttons. These are the lifelines. So see you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching.